Moment. There we go. And good morning, good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Dewpie Kirin. I'm the server's local soundboard. I make noises with my mouth. And today we are playing Blindsided, which takes place next day from another FPS I did, which was Out of Sight, Out of Blind. But I would like my wonderful partner to introduce themselves and their character, and we can set the scene.
Yeah, thank you, my wonderful partner. Um, you're not going to get away with one-sided compliments. All right, so my name is KT. I am playing Laura, my wonderful idiot, who is nosier than he wishes to be. He's working on it. It's a culture thing.
I'm beloved, oh beloved man. Okay. Oh
And
dear,
and who are
that
you playing,
crashing noise
Dew?
is me dropping my water bottle.
It's
Okay.
just your beautiful Foley work.
Yeah, no, that I made that noise purely with my mouth.
Yes.
Disbelieve that previous statement. But yeah. Anyway,
Who are
where
you
is Law?
playing? Who are you playing
Oh,
though?
that's a good point. I'm playing Rabia Blind. She's gonna show up at some point. But for now we need to focus on where Law is and what Law is doing. What's
Well,
going on, Law?
Lore is time of day. He actually usually, well, he can wake up early. He can usually wake up whenever he wants. He's got that stupid superpower. Anyway, he's probably trying to figure out other things to clean in Detective Minami Shannon's home because he is bored, and also she never has time for self care, and he's just gonna help with that.
Oh, Law, sweetheart, you're doing your best. I hold him so softly.
He's already
Um,
cleaned everything, and it's
Everything's just like squeaky clean sparkles, like ah. You
yeah,
look like
and
at the fridge, and the fridge is sparkling. You look at
he's
the table, and the table is just glistening.
he's like
Um,
laying down on the island, looking up at the ceiling, not knowing what to do. He's not laying on the couch; he's just on the island.
all right. You want to roll me a perception, dude?
Yeah, sure, totally. He's great at that. Totally great at that. It's hey, 18.
Huh. It's a funny you should say that. So
This doesn't
I'm just,
normally
I
happen.
want to ask a quick question. Has Law opened the windows on this apartment at all?
Yes, definitely. Gotta air out
Okay,
cleaning supplies.
then you're on your back. You're just kind of hazing out after your mega clean, and you hear a soft thump, whoosh thump coming from the window.
Laura's going to accidentally startle into fight pose.
Um, Door. You can see there is a figure outside of the window, and I'm gonna roll one of these. Where is it? Oh, it's not awful, not fantastic, but that's that one. Okay, you see this? There is a hooded, cloaked figure outside of the window, and you see that there's a gloved hand, just kind of pressed against the window, and you can't see what's under the hood. The hood is a deep hood, but you see them squidge their hooded face against the window and just kind of look around. They do not. It doesn't seem like they see you. Um, but you've opened the window. Okay, they're not putting it up against the glass then. They are kind of half in, half out of the window. They've got one hand reaching up to where the window has been rolled up, and they've got one leg inside, and they're just looking around the apartment to see if anyone's in there. They don't see anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
just pull in their other leg slowly on the floor, and then just they're not gonna close the window behind them, but they are just gonna slowly bring their cloak in and look around the room, and I don't know, they're just gonna have a little wander around the room with
Mm-hmm.
footfall, soft footfall footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
What? I'll
well,
skip.
now it's my turn to roll a thing, and you know how much I also love rolling, and that is not sarcastic. Uh, let's see, buddy. What is. Okay. So, Um, I'm gonna roll stealth.
Wonderful.
And
I
I'm
mean,
gonna see
I
if.
got a nat 1
Mhm.
on my perception, so
I'm gonna see if I have any fun little. Uh, see if I have any fun little tidbits.
please do. I want
Okay,
to see
so
how this.
Lore's literally gonna just spend 1 minute looking at Rabia doing this.
She's kind of like going around. There's probably a bookcase in here because this is Minami's place that you're staying at. There's gonna
Mhm.
be some books. She's just gonna kind of wander over immediately to the bookcase and just
Mhm.
run a finger over the ledge or one of the bookshelves and just rub her gloved hands together and tilt her head to the side. Um, I am using her simply because I will mess up the pronouns later on. I don't remember. I just don't remember to make them not
Yeah.
uh,
No, same.
vague. So I have to use she. I'm just gonna forget.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they took the pronouns in the divorce.
yeah, yeah. Gender did that to me.
Mhm.
Anyhow, so this person
Uh,
just kind of scrubs their finger over the bookshelf and just well, it doesn't make that noise because
it's very
this
squeaky
person doesn't
clean.
seem to be a toon. At least their elf. I mean, they're wearing a toon cloak, but their gloves and their boots don't seem to be toonish. And they're just rubbing their fingers together and glancing around the apartment. They don't seem to have noticed you at all, despite the fact that you're laying splayed back over a tabletop.
Jumped into
Um,
fight pose.
oh yeah, you jumped into fight pose.
Just,
Um,
I guess he's enough behind the couch. Who knows? Maybe he
perhaps.
blends in with the wallpaper in his flowery outfit. Who knows?
It's just one patch of wallpaper that exactly matches your clothing outfit today, and you just blend in. And she doesn't
Mhm.
see you, and she just kind of wanders around
Yeah.
and heads towards the kitchen.
Yeah, really quick. I
And
would like to say, if Lore has this fun little trait called Know Your
uh-huh,
Enemy, where if you spend at
uh-huh.
least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside combat, you can learn information about its capabilities compared to your own. Strength score, dexterity score, constitution score, armor class, and current HP. Total class level, if any. Fighter class levels, if any.
Fighter class levels.
Uh, Total class levels, and fighter
Fighter class
class levels
levels.
specifically. So, I grabby hands. Wahaha.
Okay, so is that everything? Would you choose one of those?
That is all of that.
Okay, so the strength dex.
Strength, dex, constitution, armor class. Here, I'll type it up.
Sorry, it's a lot to remember all at
Nope,
once.
it is. I have the
Also, I've not heard of that particular feat before.
yeah, it's part of the fact that he is a fighter with battle master.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
So
let me
yeah.
post it in the chat just so this
Hmm.
doesn't actually come on the recording. But I'll
Yeah.
post the total scores.
Context. Hmm. Da, da, da.
Strength, Dex, Con, AC, and then levels.
Mhm. Oh, and HP.
HP, right? Yes. Thank you.
But he has to do it at least 1 minute outside of combat, and yeah, he's just been
Okay.
watching.
Give me a moment so I get all these stats.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. It is my turn to terrorize you. Apparently, do.
Currently, what's your AC? Yep, that. Um. Da, da, da,
You did say he was a, accidentally quote unquote nosy little bugger. So
Yes. There you go.
yeah, I take
Um.
this. Um,
What? You hate it?
no, I said I take this.
Oh, you take this. Okay. Um. If you're not you're doing that law,
Hmm.
this person is just gonna after they
I
finish rubbing the bookshelf, they're gonna head towards the kitchen.
Yeah, no. Let's see. That's an 8 on stealth. So I imagine him just being like, "Hiya,"
Okay.
just waves. hand on hip, hand also waving, just like, let me just say hi to this person.
Oh gosh, that was a mistake. Um, you immediately see this person kind of, hmm,
He's also
let's
put on
see.
his sunglasses, which he got
Okay.
in a earlier FPS.
This person very quickly reaches under their cloak, draws something, crouches down, and turns around to face you with a dagger drawn. Um,
Laura just
you just
smiles.
this person's just freezes in place and says, "Who are you?"
Ah, well, who am I? I think more appropriately, I should ask who you are and what you doing with my friend's books.
A friend. And I'm gonna roll insight. Come on,
I mean,
it's a
that's
10.
average.
Signs of law having inhabited here. Actually, you have just cleaned the whole place. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm. I did just clean the whole
Um,
place.
they kind of look around at the sparkling apartment. They look back at you. They still have the dagger and they're still crouching down and they're just. I don't know who you are, but I don't think this house is yours.
Oh no, I'm staying with a friend. He just smiles and narrows his eyes a little bit. It's not malicious, but more of like, you're in my friend's apartment. I'm supposed to be here, and you're not. Like, he doesn't say that, but that's what the look is.
Hmm. This person slowly rises from their crouch. Their back is towards the
Mhm.
front door.
I
Um,
I
and
think
they
that they would love the blatant uh, confidence of Laura just not trying to fight them and just like
mm,
Haya, the gall.
gal of this boy. This person no longer crouched. They still have their dagger drawn, and they still stand in a somewhat defensive stance. One that they're what's the word? I'm sorry, give me a second.
You're
The
fine.
hand not holding the dagger is raised up across against their chest, and the dagger is drawn back as they sort of strafe to the side, um, from you and just squint at you. Seemingly, at least, you see their cloak tilt to the side. You can't see underneath it, and they just. Oh, you're a friend of the person that lives here. Then you didn't just ding ding, jerk a finger over their shoulder, break in. Then.
No, I had the window open because I was cleaning. Yeah, no, I know the person who lives here, but I don't feel. I guess I usually call them Minnie. That's not their full name, so I think that's safe.
Hmm.
Also, I posted what this boy looks like currently in the roll zone.
Cool. And then. So,
This
okay.
6'6" flower child.
Wonderful flower child. This person before you is way shorter than you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be quite stout. And you see them slowly lowering their dagger. They're not putting it away, and they just slowly start to spin it between their fingers. They're not looking at the dagger. They are still looking at you. But they seem to relax their shoulders and lean against the wall next to the window. And oh, so you're a friend of Minami's then? Of Little Mouse?
Yeah, little mouse. They're they're definitely a friend, and they look very soft when they say that.
Roll an insight again, because she's like last time. That's a 24!
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
Telling the truth, essentially.
Oh,
It's,
definitely. Obviously telling the truth. She doubts this
yeah,
boy is good at deception.
she just
Mm-hmm.
she stops spinning her knife, nods, and slowly sheaths her knife back underneath the cloak, nods her head down, and says, Alright, so you are a roommate of some sort then?
A friend staying with a friend. He smiles.
This person nods their head. Right. Have you seen Minami? Did you see Minami last night?
Yeah, I did. They They went to work.
You can roll insight at that as this person kind of leans a little and shuffles against the back of the wall.
That's a 7. He's just like,
You don't get anything. You
No.
don't get much.
no, he
Pull
does
against
not.
the wall. And you just see the hood bob up and down and say, "All right then, friend of Minami. I don't suppose you know if she has any food or anything in stock. It's just to go make sure."
Lord walks over and opens the fridge, and it looks like you got the feeling that this little mouse friend didn't self-care very well, but the fridge is stocked, and you have an inkling that the reason the apartment is clean and the fridge is stocked, it might be because of Lore. You don't know their name yet, though.
Fair. Woman nods, looks up at Law as they open the fridge. All right then, it seems that you've taken care of the important parts of living. And
He just shuts the fridge with a little bit of sass.
Sassily shuts a fridge. Damn.
Just kind of, and then puts his hands back on his hip.
This person nods, looks around the room, and then starts to head. I'm gonna roll investigation because she's gonna try and find something. Investigation. Oh, sweet bean, your investigation.
Lore's just gonna be like, if you could return my friend's books, that would be appreciated.
This doesn't seem to be paying attention. They're opening all the cupboards and pulling things, like having a pull out and then putting it back in, closing the cupboards, like not in there, and they just seem to be searching the cupboards for something.
Let's see, that's very low. Do they notice Lore right behind them?
No, they're trying to look for a teapot and they can't find any mugs.
They go to turn and they just walk into a wall of Lore. And they're just looking down at you with an eyebrow raised.
This person immediately steps back. You're looking down.
They're very short.
When you look down at them, you see them reach the top of their hood, pull it down, and step back further from you, and give it a little. No. There's no getting too close, sweetheart.
And maybe you should be a little bit more observant.
I am being as observant that I can. I'm trying to find some mugs to make us some tea.
Well, then just ask. And Lore pulls it out.
Yes, I could ask. However, sometimes there's
polite to
more
ask.
This person says nothing and just sort of backs away, shuffles and cocks a hip, puts it against the counter, and then just drums her fingers against the counter as
just
they look
smiling. Not at her, just smiling in general as he starts the kettle.
Vaguest of himbo smiles is being directed at this person. As the kettle is boiling, not Minami. This person is going to look around the apartment and just vaguely nod and so how did you come to be staying with little mouse Minami?
Well, friends usually visit friends, do they not?
Visiting friends, but this is this person looks around, gestures one hand around the very clean apartment. I don't know what sort of friends you are exactly, but friends don't typically clean their friend's whole apartment for them.
Well, do you normally have friends who are workaholics?
They pause. They lower their hand, they look back at you. They just slowly nod and say, You have a point, but my point still stands. Don't clean your friend's apartment unless, and clicks a finger, you are also a resident. Roll if it's a community space.
I did say I was staying with them for a while. He gestures to his backpack. So just visiting for a little while.
Slow nod again. And
you can roll you can try to roll insight on that, but he's technically not lying.
I'll roll insight on that. That's a 22.
You get that there's more to it than that, but that he's not completely lying. but he is skirting
Mm.
around some stuff.
Puts tilts a little to the side and just nods. And then you're gonna see this person put their hands on the counter and just whoop themselves onto the counter and lean back on their hands and watch you as you work. And they're just gonna hear the thunk, thunk, thunk as their boot taps against the cupboards as they watch you make your tea. Don't say anything more.
Laura asks what kind of tea they would like.
You hear a little hum. Well, I suppose it's a little long shot in the dark, but I don't suppose you have chai tea, would you?
Chai? I think I picked some up. I like chicory personally, and he pulls that out.
Chicory's not so bad.
I just
but
like
I
things that
prefer
taste like coffee. He smiles.
I'll have to admit, I actually, you know what? I'm gonna roll a con save. This is just to check how well she liked coffee. What's your con? No, it's actually pretty decent. Okay, cool. Oh, that's excellent. You see, see the hands kind of like clench into like a slight fist and go a shiver, kind of go through the shoulders, like, oh, I did try coffee once, but it's really not to my tastes.
I just like better things. He smiles.
You can roll an insight on that if you want. This person just kind of and leans back on their hand.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're being playful, but also, again, not really lying.
And did you want to roll an insight on this person?
I do. That's a 19.
19. When you say you just like bitter things, you hear that little laugh, and there's sort of fondness in that laugh. And they kind of tilt their head and gaze out of the window that they just come through, and the leg kicking slowly just thump, 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 like they're thinking about something. Yeah, that was an affectionate laugh as you like bitter things, and they. Well, you wouldn't be the only person I know that's fond of the bitter parts of life.
I guess you're reading into the whole tea thing, aren't you? He kind of smiles and slides a cup over to them.
Well, you'd be surprised what you can learn from tea leaves. Have you ever had tea leaves read to you?
No, I can't say that was necessarily a thing that my town did, but quick question, how do you know Minami?
Oh. Tilt their head a little to the side again.
Do I still need to be suspicious of you?
Can I say that again?
Laura's just like, do I need to still be suspicious of you? You did take her books.
Tilts head to the side. And slowly nods and says, so she hasn't told you who I am?
No, she didn't really get the chance.
Okay. And the slow thumping starts to pick up a little more to like dunk, dunk.
Though it does seem that they didn't say they had a temporary roommate either, and he just drinks his tea.
Oh, I was not expecting someone else being here. They said they had a friend, but they didn't say there was a friend staying over. I presume you're that friend then.
Maybe, probably. I mean, Minami has. I'm not Minami's only friend, so who knows? And he shrugs.
Enough. It seems like she has many people that care about her. Not that she seems to know that. Get
No.
the impression, please.
She's working on accepting affection. He smiles.
Her and someone else both. And she just kind of nods. Well, I don't know whether to say I'm surprised or not that she hasn't told you about me, but
I mean, it sounds like you just met, so that would make sense.
Oh, we did. Literally met last yesterday. She decided to give me a bit of a merry chase.
I guess you took something of hers then.
Oh, yes, I suppose so, but I did give it back.
Hmm.
So it was more
kinda-
like a lending than a
I'm gonna
it's like a lending than a permanent taking.
roll a thing.
Go ahead.
I think it's how you do. That's an 18. Plus, I need to do. Did it roll the d6? I don't think it
I
did.
don't think it did.
Okay, Lore has a thing with a d6.
You can just roll the d6.
There we go. So it is 20 plus. That's a 26 on insight.
Cool.
Don't worry, he can only do that a certain number of times.
Okay, is this to do with your little feed ability?
Yes, it is. He has this. He has this thing.
I'm sure he does.
Let's see. It is called. You might as well know about it because it might be helpful. So as a battle master, he has something called a superiority dice that are d6s that he can only use a few times per short rest, and he has something called let's see, where did it go? It is.
If you can't find it now, we can just talk about it.
Yeah, it's called tactical assessment. When you make an intelligence investigation, an intelligence history, or a wisdom insight check, you can expend one. I guess this would be investigation then, because actually no. So I can just -2 from that potentially because I accidentally added +2.
That's fine.
So it's a 24.
22.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's maths.
You can expend one superiority die and add the superiority die to the ability check.
Nice, okay.
You can only do that 5 times and he's used 1.
That's fair. So what was the insight for?
He just wants to basically see if he can connect a few dots.
Okay.
So what was the last thing they said?
Last thing they said. That's gosh. You asked me the last thing I said, and I immediately forget. The
gist.
I think it was that they took. Yes, they did take something of Minami's, but they returned it. So it was more so like a lending more than a permanent. More than like a permanent taking.
You see, this young man's eyes have been shaded by some nice red sunglasses. But you kind of get the hint for just a second that maybe they're a little different, and that's why he's wearing shades inside. But his eyes kind of flare without opening or anything.
Give me just
like a little shine. Do do do, elevator music. I look at our one person in the audience and I smile and wave.
I'm so sorry. Someone knocked at my door. Right. Anyway.
Yeah, you kind of see his eyes shine as he smiles in a different way. Again, not malicious, but like he found something shiny. And he just says, "Oh, I guess you must have taken something important. And if Minami didn't tell me immediately, then you must not be so bad of a thief. Do you steal for the benefit of others?" And he kind of cocks his head.
I'm gonna carry on that insight you're using, but I'm gonna try and roll deception. Quickly. 27. Ooh! Uh, this person is called a cucumber as they tilt their head to the side and goes, "Oh, that's a very specific question to ask of a thief. May I ask why exactly would you like to know?"
Oh, well, that would mean your name's Rabia, wouldn't it?
You presume a lot, don't you?
Well,
And,
I do, actually, because I find that the little bubble of people I meet ends up being very specific.
This person just tilts their head to the side, and they don't answer you. But I'd say about this time, the tea's probably, kettle's probably boiled, and, I presume we've been making tea this whole time.
Oh, definitely. He pours the water.
Okay.
Offers offers sugar.
Ahead and just, actually, it's shake of the head and then pause, and then she just nods and holds up 2 fingers.
He gives 2 fingers. I mean, he gives 2 fingers worth of sugar.
Don't give her 2 fingers, how dare you! I swear am I. For those of you that don't know, giving someone 2 fingers in the, at least where I'm from, is not a nice gesture.
The same as flipping someone off here in America.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he'll do the 2 fingers where the thumb is up and the index finger's out.
Oh, now you're giving her the L, I can't believe this. But yeah,
but yeah,
2 sugars.
he just smiles. You said you didn't like bitter things, right?
I'm not incredibly fond of bitterness, no. Actually, she looks at the sugar and then looks at the tea, and looks at the cupboards. I don't suppose you have any honey, would you?
Yeah, I do. And he grabs it without looking and keeps his eyes on you.
She's just watching what you're doing.
He just slides it over, sets down a honey spoon with it.
They nod, get up, and you're just gonna see them scrape a dollop out, put it in the pot, scrape a dollop out, put it in the tea, scrape a dollop. That's a lot of honey. The person's putting a lot of honey in their tea.
Lore just smiles and says, "You could have just poured it."
No? Right, but I roll a with save for this person.
It is fun to use the
Can
spoon.
you resist? It's 22. Okay, they do. Yes. Okay. They look like they're gonna bring the spoon up to their face, and they stop, they shake their head, and they put the spoon back in the pot. Just push it back towards you.
You can have some if you really want.
No. I really do need to watch my sugar intake. It's becoming a bit of a bad habit. And she's gonna pick up her tea mug, gesture towards the towards where the sofas are, and just walk over.
Lore grabs his tea and walks over casually.
She's gonna sit not on the chair but on the armrest. Just gonna lean on the armrest with her back against the back part of the sofa and just sip her tea.
Lore,
look at you.
Lore actually sits on the couch, and luckily it is long enough for both of his legs, as he doesn't have shoes on or anything, and just lays down on the couch sitting up facing Rabia. Crosses his legs.
Rabia kind of looks all the way up and down this person, then glances at their feet very briefly before looking away and just looking around the apartment, nodding, and so I've told you how I met the little mouse. How did you meet little mouse?
We hung out in a library.
Oh well, I can't say I'm too surprised about that. They seem to be the studious type. Glances over the bookshelf, glances away.
Yeah. Speaking of that, can I at least know the books so I can replace them?
Looks their head to the side, and this is going to be Dew speaking very briefly. So earlier you said that I've taken books. Do you think I took books earlier on,
It sounded like you
or
took
when they came
books.
in?
Yeah.
No. So what happened is they ran their finger along the shelves and they kind of just rubbed their fingers together to check for dust. They didn't take any books from the bookshelf.
Okay, then I'll change what I say and just be like,
Sorry.
"Oh no, you're good. I
Sometimes
just
it's
misheard."
confusing. But yeah.
Yeah. Lore
But
just
I
smiles.
mean, law. What you can do, you can have law look over, and then it's just like a ta-da! Everything is back on the shelf. Nothing's been taken.
Lore just smiles
Where
like,
you left it.
shrugs, looks back. Again, no maliciousness coming from this kid. But you do
There's a.
notice that he might be a little sharper than you first thought.
Hmm. Rabia's not incredibly readable right now. They got 20. They got 27 in that deception.
Yeah,
just
Lore
kind of.
just like already suspects the person. So like they can't read anything off of them, but they're looking.
Gosh. Okay. Rabia's just gonna sip their tea again.
What do
Another
they
slurp.
look like right now?
So they have their they're wearing a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long cloak. It covers most of their body, but at the moment, because they're leaning on the armrests and on the back of the couch, the deep hood you can't see their face. You can't see any skin revealed anywhere. They're wearing old, worn leather gloves, and it seems like not leather, but sort of what's the word, like jerkin pants kind of deal.
What are jerkin pants?
And then just boots of some sort.
Mhm.
You look at them, they look tough, but they also look soft. It's kind of hard, like supple leather, but they seem to be a bit sturdier than that.
Gotcha.
As I will say, this person is also tonking one of their legs against the side of the sofa as they sit.
Lore just
And
kind of smiles and says, just kind of hanging out or anxious?
oh no. You do you mean, and they point down to their leg.
Yeah.
Here. No. It's one of those I don't know, knee jerk reactions as they jerk their knee out and boom, bonk it against the sofa. No, it's just a thing that I do. I'm not nervous. I'm mostly here to make sure that the little mouse is looking after herself, because yesterday while she was chasing me, she refused to take any. Well, it didn't look like she'd eaten, and she was so. How to phrase this? She was very thirsty, and
She forgot
I have
the
to commend
lunch.
her.
I packed her. He sighs.
You hear a drink from under the hood and a sip of the tea. She's not eating her lunch either. Oh, for goodness sake,
She
child.
forgot it. She ran out the door. Would you like a straw?
Straw, and they just kind of cock their head to the side.
It's a deep
And-
hood.
They just shake their head slowly and just.
He's just, you
No,
can tell he's being playful.
that's not necessary, thank you. I can drink just fine. And you see the cup get raised up into the shadows, disappear for a brief second, and then come back down, and there is a little bit less tea in the mug. This figure just kind of shrugs and says, "There's no need for a straw. Tends to be if you use a straw on this anyhow, you either get just honey and then it's all bitter afterwards, or you accidentally drink down some tea leaves," and gives a bit of a shiver at that. I've drank down far too many grains that way by accident.
Lore seems to look confused, like, oh, like, he doesn't say this, but like, oh, I guess some people think that's a bad thing. And he just looks away as he sips his tea.
Yeah, but shake her head and just. So Minami has a habit of forgetting her food, then?
Oh, she has a habit of forgetting a lot of things. You were right to be concerned. She's been, I said she was a workaholic.
I had noticed that.
Workaholics don't tend to, maintain certain aspects of their life. And he just chuckles, uh,
Yes,
sympathetically.
I had noticed that, even as only met the girl once, but even so, I've noticed that she seems to be very determined to do what she needs to do, but
Oh, definitely.
doesn't seem to understand that she needs to take care of herself. And you can see this person starting to talk very much like probably like you might recognize this tone from your parents, from one of your parents at least, as they kind of get kind of huffy. Just mutters, honestly, that girl needs to learn to take better care of herself. How can she think that she can keep going like this and not just, oh, I don't know, work herself into exhaustion? It's no good for her.
That's a 17 on investigation. Can I say that Lore pieces a few dots together?
Can if you want.
Cool.
Those are the pieces.
Oh, are you a parrot?
No, I don't know what you're putting together.
Yeah, no, Lore it wants to basically be like, oh, are you a parrot?
This person stops
Mm-hmm.
and just wonks their tea back onto the table and laces their fingers together, puts them on their lap, leans back further into the sofa, and you see the leg just slowly start to slow as they kick. Well, yes and no, I suppose. I am and I am not. That's that's not very relevant at the moment. What's relevant is Minami's habits, and you've done a very good job cleaning up. I can't help but commend you for that. And
Well, it's not really like he can go anywhere. He smiles and then like winces like, shouldn't have said that. He doesn't say that last part, but he's like, oof.
Insight time. That's a 15 on insight.
Yeah, you can tell that this boy let something slip he didn't mean to. And it was, apparently he believes he can't leave without a consequence of some sort.
You're gonna see that leg stop swinging with a thunk into the sofa, and both her feet come up onto the end of the armrest and rests their interlocked fingers on their knees and leans forward and just kind of looks in your direction. Their hood is tilted to the side. Still too deep for you to get any read on them, but
Lore
you do
looks,
hear a soft sound.
Lore looks back at you, and you can tell that from your angle, since you're a little bit above him, you see that while his glasses made his eyes look brown, they're actually very bright purple. And you know that this kid is definitely a human. Purple eyes, that's a little weird.
Slow nod. And this person's going to
and you can tell as he looks up at you, you can tell that like for all his quote unquote bravado, he's just a kid and he looks nervous.
Yeah. Okay. We're doing this then, Katie. Head is against her shoulders and her hands, and she's making herself maybe a little smaller. She looks at you and says, "Are you in trouble, young man?"
Not exactly. And he looks uncomfortable, like shit.
Now you see, I would usually believe you, and you are a stranger to me, and I understand that talking to a stranger is uncomfortable.
He laughs at that and looks again nervous. Because Lore hasn't been nervous talking to strangers until recently.
Yeah, I wonder why. This person just continues on saying, I know it can be a little intimidating talking to strangers, but sometimes
Again, he
talking to a stranger is
laughs.
the best way.
He doesn't
Sometimes
mean
talking to
to.
a stranger is the best way to get things out of your system. And hmm, if you or Minami are in any sort of danger, well, and they kind of rock a little bit. I'm gonna roll acrobatics actually. Can you keep your balance while you're having this very serious conversation? On that one, I'm gonna die. So, kind of wobbles a bit, and they have to kind of perch very suddenly onto the balls of their feet. So they're now perched on the very edge of the armrest, kind of sitting like an owl as they look at you. You or Minami are in any sort of trouble. Well, let's just say I can pull a few strings and see what I can do. I may be a stranger, but I don't like to see children in trouble.
Lore, you see Lore bring his knees up and cross them more casually, and you see something a little bit shift in his attitude. And it seems a little off, and he just, his glasses are slipped down his nose a little bit more. Not intentionally, but he looks up at you, and he says, I mean, we're not in any trouble yet, so we should be fine.
Now you see, and they uncurl from their position and hop off onto the floor in front of you and start to take a slow step towards you. Now you see, not yet implies that there is danger coming. And,
Sure does, doesn't it?
may not know me. Rather much. And you can't see past the hood, but you do get that feeling of a sort of an edge to her voice as she speaks. I don't know about this now, but if there's potential for future threats, I'm not one that's fond of having children in danger, so I can't force you to accept my help. However, Nami is a Nami is a young lady that seems to need a slight bit of guidance, or, well, honestly, I think she needs a good talking to if she'd accept it. She doesn't seem like the type. She seems to be rather hard-headed. After all chasing me yesterday, she really needs to work on her cardio.
Oh, yeah, she's not very physically inclined, and he laughs like he has experience in that, knowing that.
This person shakes their head and just like, I'm getting off track. Yes, as much as she needs the exercise and the, at least the practice, what I'm trying to say is if there is potential for you two to be in trouble in the future, then I can offer my assistance for you. I
Dude, does that
don't
mean
like
you
to
have
see
a
young people struggle.
does that mean you have a calling card? And he smiles.
Oh, calling card. Oh no, I'm not one of those phantom thieves. And she kind of leans back.
I didn't think so.
She kind of plonks herself down on the coffee table, and it rattles a little bit, like your tea probably rattles in your mug, unless you're holding it. In which
Holding
case,
it.
holding it. Okay, yeah, the coffee table just rattles as she sits down, and it's just hands on her knees, elbows bent out to the side, cocking her head at you, and either way, no, I'm not a big flashy phantom thief.
Your costume would
roll
allude
insight
to
on that.
that, and he smiles.
This is not. This is not a costume, young man. This is classical thief attire.
My point
Not wearing
exactly.
any flashy red and green whatchamacallits and
Yeah, you didn't think a thief would want to attract that much attention, so I'm guessing if you're who I think you are, I definitely would like your help one day. And he sips his tea.
You stop this person in their tracks from their rant, and they look down and Put their head to the side, slowly nod, and only if you would accept my help,
Oh, definitely.
Nami is far more stubborn than you. You seem
I'm
oddly willing to
I'm
accept the
stubborn in
help
different
is needed.
ways.
Person is roll an insight. And it's average.
It's average. You get the feeling that, again, yeah, he's telling the truth. He's stubborn in different ways.
Slow nod. You hear a well, I suppose it's a good thing I'm used to stubborn teenagers.
Ah, that makes me think of someone.
Oh? And
Yeah, if if I think who you are is Rabia blind.
hmm. Now that is an interesting theory you have. I'm rather curious as to why you think so.
Well, I keep running into people who are in a certain in a certain circle of knowing one another, and he laughs kind of tiredly.
Hmm. Person slowly nods and says, well, I have met Minami. That, yes, I suppose that makes a certain kind of sense. But this is me neither confirming nor denying, mind you. It could be anybody. Don't put all of your bets on one horse.
I'm not very good at
Example, I
betting.
could say I'm Rabia. I could say I'm Rabia blind, but words are wind, you know? Anyone could hide their face. Anyone could disguise themselves as Rabia blind and say, oh, I'm Rabia blind, and you should trust me because I am a good thief. Don't be so trusting.
Lord tilts his head at you, and this is where he gets a smile that you know Lau would hate. And he just says, well, I don't see why you would do that considering that's you've offered your help so far. So I guess you are that good kind of thief. You don't like seeing kids in trouble, do you? You said that yourself.
And just because I'm offering assistance in a particular matter doesn't necessarily mean I'm good. For all I know, I could
Just
well,
like words, good is relative, isn't it?
this person just looks at you and you just hear a oh, you are. I think I see what you mean about you being stubborn. And they lean back and
That's
kind
what
of look
pissed
around
off
the room.
the one person. And he kind of smiles a little sadly into his teacup before he takes a sip.
Hmm. Yes, well, not everyone takes well to such a can-do attitude.
No.
Um, Person's gonna look down at their empty mug, and then they'll look down at your mug, and then they're gonna look around at the room, and just wrap their glove hands together and stand up. And I think we might want to well, at least wash these. And,
Don't
do you know
worry.
if Minami took her lunch today?
I sure I sure made her. I put it in her bag before she left.
Good. Well done. And they just
Now,
nod.
whether or not she remembers to look in there is another thing. So, depending on whether or not you want to stop at the police station is your thing.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first time. No worries about that.
I
Say
get the
what is.
feeling you're good at disguises.
You could say that. I dabble a little. Um, this person picks up their mug and holds out their gloved hand for your mug.
He takes the rest of this very hot liquid like a shot and hands it over.
Here, you shouldn't drink that like a shot, honestly. It's going to burn your mouth, child.
He looks really confused when you say that.
I mean, just gonna shake their head. That was very hot liquid, you know. You can't just chug that all down at once.
Uh, it's it wasn't that hot. It's fine.
This person just kind of get the impression that they're blinking at you. Then they just, child, that came off of the hob some minutes ago. That is not lukewarm or even just warm tea. That was still piping hot. I
Oh,
drank mine in sips. I have a technique for drinking hot drinks, you see. You just, you know what? Alright, you drink things your way, but if you
uh,
get sore blistered mouth, don't come crying to me. And,
I don't think I've ever gotten a blistered mouth. He laughs and hands the mug over.
mm, squints. Get the impression of a squint, at least. And this
Lore
person's gonna
again
turn around.
is confused at this, like in his brain. He's just like, "Oh shoot, did I say something weird again?"
Sure. This person's just gonna turn around and strut towards the kitchen. Um, just leave the mugs on the side. And then calls out, well, depending on whether she remembers to eat, I don't suppose you'd be willing to make a quick something just in case she does forget.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. And he hops up fairly easily, and a lot less steps than you took is already in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll street survival for this to see
Yeah,
what they make it.
Let's see if Lore can
What would
help.
you say they make? Would
Lore
Lore know what Nami likes to eat?
Lore has stuck to like basic sandwiches and whatnot because he's not necessarily the best cook. He just makes decent food that is edible.
That's fair. I'm gonna roll investigation and see if I'm gonna see if she can figure out. Oh! She just kind of tuts as you pull out like bread and jam and like stuff for sandwiches, and she just kind of bats your hand and quickly says, "Don't you have anything else other than sandwiches? You got a
Yeah.
whole packed veg in there."
Lore rolled a 15, so I'll say he's confident today. And he pulls out, he's like, yeah, I mean, we can have a quick sandwich if you want, though. And he goes back into the
Oh.
fridge and starts pulling out vegetables and stuff.
Do you two eat anything but sandwiches?
I just really like sandwiches. And he smiles. Also, it's easy to get Minami to eat a sandwich if she can eat it while working. And he laughs nervously.
This person just kind of see their shoulders kind of hunch up a little bit and cross their arms and just, I understand it's quick and easy, but coming home to a hot meal is, well, it's always something a little, it's nice. So maybe instead of sandwiches.
I think she likes pasta. I know she likes, well, I mean, she likes the food that we got at the mall, so that was like just kind of junk food. So he shrugs, and you actually see him ponder for a second before he just takes off his glasses and sets them down. And you see that, yeah, his eyes are a very unearthly purple. And he's like, I'm guessing you already saw them, so it doesn't matter.
Rabia is gonna just side-eye that and then look away. She's not gonna stare at the funky child's eyes. Nope. It's too rude even for her. She's just gonna kind of nod and, okay, Lore, I'm going to teach you. Oh wait, she doesn't know your name. She doesn't say that.
Yeah.
She just nods her head and says, alright, alright, child, I'm going to teach you a very basic, very basic recipe, okay?
Lorth seems to think a moment and decides to lean on the counter and look up and think. And sighs and holds out his hand, and he's like, well, if, again, you're who I think you are, you might as well know my name, because if I think you know who I know, it might come up. My name is Lorem Quire Parif, but you can call me Lore.
Person looks down at your hand and looks back up at you. Slowly extends one of her hands and moves the other hand just to her side underneath her cloak and grabs your hand and shakes it and says, well, Lorem, it's a pleasure to meet you. And then nods their head, pulls their hand away. Does not give their name.
Yep.
But turns around to start asking you, right, if you could get out, what were the ingredients? Pasta? Do you have any tomatoes? Cheese?
He starts grabbing all those things.
Like tomato, cheese, basil, that kind of stuff. And they're gonna teach you how to make like a real simple dish. And
I'm laughing because this is what I was thinking too, and I want some now.
Excellent. I pat you and I hug you so much. One day I will make you pasta and tomato and it will be delicious.
Oh, yes, please.
Right. Do you want to roll survival?
I did roll survival earlier and it was a 15, but I can roll again.
Right. No. If you roll survival, that's fine.
16.
Okay, cool.
Together they can do this.
So
Lore does tilt his head and he's like, do you prefer to call me Lorem?
Little head tilt to the side, as she's kind of like checking on the pasta and making sure the tomato cheese sauce is coming out nice, and she just slowly nods and says, well, I don't seem to have I suppose it's more a matter of respect than anything. Nicknames are for close family members after all. And she says this almost absent-mindedly as she does the pot. And she will just kind of point at the tomato sauce and says, could you check that? Make sure it doesn't stick to the pan.
Yeah, he does that and he's like, just everybody calls me Lore. You can just call me Lore if you want, but I'm fine with Lorem until until you feel more comfortable, I guess. And he's not being weird or anything, he's just being genuine, just kind of talking as he kind of does the thing where you like shake the vegetables in the pan and then flips it.
Yes, sauteing. You're sauteing the... Nice. You don't get a response from this person, they're just intently focusing on the pasta. I'll just speed through it a little bit. By the end of it, it's just like montage cut. Actually, if we're doing this, no, because they're all kind. But I will say we do just eventually get to the point. It's a little later on, and there are two wonderful pasta dishes on the side. They are decently tasty. You have yourself a nice little pasta cheese tomato dish, and as being served up, you will hear this person say, now you can add little things to this. I've heard people add things like ham and tuna. Tuna is quite popular, actually. There is, I believe there's, I've heard of beef being added to this. Personally, not something I would have, but there are lots of different things you can add to this to make it a bit more lively.
Yeah, I've I used to hear about chicken, but I don't really eat that anymore. And he just kind of laughs to himself.
That's understandable. It's not for everyone. They just kind of nod.
Well, I like it a lot. I just met someone who's a chicken recently, and I don't feel right about it anymore. Then he just smiles.
Give me a moment. Roll an insight if you want. This person, yeah, 16. Damn, 16. It's very hard to notice, but this person just kind of pauses, and as they're dishing up the other bowl, see the hook kind of twitch in your direction before twitching back down. It's just, oh, a person that's a chicken. Well, I do suppose they are a toon, no? And
he shrugs.
You get a long stare from the deep hood of this cloak. This person just slowly looks down at the dish they've made and looks around for like something to cover
Mhm.
it with, like another plate or a cling film or some such. Um,
Lawyer hands you. You know the bowls that have lids?
yes, those ones. I have one of those.
Yeah, he just
Uh,
hands you the lid.
uh, they nod the bowl, go to the fridge. Depending on how much stuff is in the fridge, do you want me to roll a sleight of hand to see if I can actually get it in?
Oh no, it should be fine. I mean, Minami's one person and Laura eats a lot.
Okay. Just they try and they like wiggle it into the fridge, and they just gently shut the door, nod, and say, "Well, that should be there for her when she gets home. If you need to, I don't know how you're going to reheat it. You can eat it cold, which is one of the nice things about this dish. Even if it's cold, it's still delicious." And they move back to the sink and they start turning on the sink and the cupboards for like washing up gloves, and then they start to just wash up the plates and dishes and stuff they use to cook absentmindedly. They do put the rubber
Mhm.
gloves that they find over their leather gloves. Um, they just kind of get stuck in doing the washing up.
Laura tilts his head and kind of makes note of that and just smiles.
Rolls to have her wash up. That they just wash up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, once that's done, they put everything on the drying rack. Pull off their gloves, hang them up to dry, and just clap their hands together, back at you, Law, and nod. And as you're taking a mouthful of delicious pasta, they're going to lean back against the sink and say, "So, are you the friends that sent Minami after me?"
Uh, yeah, I know Lao. He just eats the pasta. Like, that's not a, just says it casually.
Cool, 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 cool.
And it's not like malicious
Cool.
casually or anything. He's just talking.
Excellent. Okay.
Doesn't even look at them.
Cool. Person just kind of nods their head and says, "So you know a person named Lao?"
Lao is
Okay, then.
blind. Yeah.
Ah,
He made the mistake of giving me his full name, and he smiles and keeps eating his pasta.
and just nods slowly, doesn't say anything, watches you, and says, "Well, for whatever reason that you sent Minami after me with that name,
I
I
wanted
would
to
appreciate."
I wanted to make
Hmm?
sure he was okay. I mean, you are a thief, so just wanted to make sure everything was all right. But I'm guessing everything's fine.
Hood tilts to the side. Just glad to see that you're worried about your friend, but there's no.
He laughs, and it sounds a little not like he's better about it, but just better.
Hmm. Just gonna take note of that.
He
And
doesn't
just
consider us friends. He threw a book at me after all, after I mentioned your name.
this person kind of leans back. "You still assume that I am Rabia blind?
Well, you haven't
Just some.
given me a good reason to doubt it.
I haven't even given you my name."
Nope. But I guess well, I he smiles fondly. I'm a bit of an idiot after all, so I guess I'll just stick to my assumptions.
Mhm. Now you see, I would like to believe that you're just a bit of a himbo, I believe the word is.
He
But
looks at you like he's never heard the word.
understandable, have a nice. But continues on. I like to believe that you I'm sure you like to believe that people, or I'm sure people would like to believe that there's nothing going on up there, but I'm I know better than to assume that someone playing the fool is actually a fool. Usually it's the fools with the biggest brains of them.
Well,
At least,
I'm a bit of both.
yes, will admit I have met someone I know who is one of the smartest fools I've ever have the pleasure of meeting.
Hmm. Honestly, that makes me think of Lao.
They don't say anything of that. They
Yeah.
just kind of watch you eat.
He, again, he wasn't digging for information there. He honestly thought of Lao.
That's fair. Is there
Yeah.
a clock in this room, by the way?
Oh, knowing Minami, I sure hope so.
Um, well, this person's gonna look around the room and glance at the clock, and then just kind of slowly nod the clock.
Lore,
Step away.
Lore reaches into his pocket really quick and, without looking, hands her a little card.
I'm reaching into your pocket. I just need to roll something. Oh, okay, that's a 3. Okay, cool. That's fine. Figure doesn't react as you hold something out to them.
Just like, looks like a little slip of paper. Like a business card, almost.
They hesitantly reach out, grab it between the index and middle finger and take it.
If you ever want to write me a letter, just put my name on the letter, full name, and it'll find me.
The hooded figure doesn't look away from you. They just nod and slip, without looking, they just kind of slip it underneath their cloak with their hand. And, hear a little, well, I will keep that in mind, Lauren. And, do me a favor, would you?
When you call him Lorem, he kind of looks off nostalgically and looks to you, and he's like, yeah, what's the favor?
Well, it might be a bit of a two-parter favor. Firstly, make sure Minami eats and sleeps and generally looks after herself while I'm not there. I will be around. I will be keeping an eye out because apparently she gets herself into quite a bit of trouble.
I mean, they are.
But when I'm not there, yes, there are plenty of detectives running around getting themselves into trouble recently.
Oh, definitely. And he looks like he knows this personally as he looks off very tired.
You get the impression from the slump of this other person's shoulders. Yeah, they've certainly heard some things going around in their little thief circles about what the hell is going on.
They share this moment of just, ugh.
Shared moment of, oh, detectives, why are they like this? They just nod and say, well, I'm not going to ask you to babysit her per se, but just make sure she's alright. And, if you need to contact me, I suppose,
oh, I think I'll be able to. And he smiles at you very fondly.
You see the shoulders just kind of roll one shoulder each at a time and just, yes, well, now I have one more thing to ask.
So big.
Hear a big huff. You see the chest raise up and just...
It's very playful.
This person just huffs and sighs and just... The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is, if you are speaking to this, speaking of this, Lao person, I'm going to ask you to bother them. It sounds as if they, don't particularly want to speak to you at the moment.
Oh no, they hate my guts. He says that very matter-of-factly, keeps eating.
I'm going to suggest that you keep your distance. I have heard a few things about that person.
Yeah, does that mean you know Soul?
They are ignoring what you are saying. They are talking over you.
Oh yeah,
Laura.
no, he just smiles and keeps listening.
The person just carries on and says, I've heard some things in my circle, and from what I know, that person can certainly hold a grudge. You can roll an insight on that.
Oh, definitely.
And I would advise, if you are not in their good books at the moment, you're going to want to keep your distance.
That's only an 11.
It might just be an 11, but there's something in their voice when they say holds a grudge. You can't quite pick up what it is, but there's a certain inflection in there that you haven't heard from this person before. They just kind of put their head and look at you, waiting for your answer.
Well, I've had trouble writing them letters, but I'll actually give it a go. I don't know why I acted the way that I did when I met them, and I know they won't accept my apology, but I also know that I can't seem to let it go. And he kind of just looks confused at that, but smiles.
This person just nods, reaches up and out quickly and just taps you twice very quickly on the shoulder. Actually, no, not quickly. They reach out and they just kind of squeeze your shoulder. Their hand reaches up and despite the leather, it's warm. And it's warm and it's a firm squeeze. As this hood looks up at you, and you can now, as the hood looks up, you do see just a hint of white. Perhaps is it a nose? Is it an eye? Is it part of their face? You can't quite tell. There's like a hint of like chalky white. They look up at you and say, forgiveness is not something that
He's not good
you
at
have to wait.
Yeah.
If you want forgiveness, you're going to have to wait. It's not something that's...
I guess I'm hoping for reconciliation more than anything.
I hope you're in for a long wait, Lauren. And they just tap your shoulder, another squeeze.
I'm not leaving for a while, so... And he seems to smile and laugh in a tired way again as he looks away.
Justin nods, steps back, and makes their way towards the window. And we stick one of their legs out.
Really quick before they do that, how would you avoid a hug?
I would have to roll perception and then a whiz save.
Because I was gonna roll athletics.
Oh, they react.
Dirty 20 for a hug.
Not stealthing though. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do a whiz save. This determines what they're gonna do. Oh, they're not gonna dodge, but they are gonna reach down underneath their cloak, very quickly grab the dagger, turn around, and I've got to roll an attack.
Do it.
You've startled this person, especially because they came up behind. It's a 9, that does not hit, especially because they were surprised, which makes sense. You probably grab them in a hug and lift them up and squeeze, and by the time they try to move their arm down to stab, you've just kind of squeezed their arm.
And Lore seems like he noticed the knife and doesn't care.
Oh my god. Lauren, please. Lauren, please.
Big old hug.
You're gonna feel something kick you in the thigh repeatedly. And you're gonna hear curses in Elvish.
Lore responds in Elvish. Nope, you're getting a hug.
The response in Elvish kind of gets them to pause a second. They struggle even more. Very angrily, just more swearing in Elvish.
Lore,
get out of this, it's acrobatics, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they're stuck.
Damn it! Person is incredibly frustrated.
Yep, no, he's gonna keep hugging them and hackle.
They hate this, they hate this. Do you wanna roll an insight?
Yes. That's a 9.
So anything. You're just giving her a big old hug.
Yep. Laura eventually sets them down and says, and that's for sneaking into somebody's house.
You will see them just panting, gripping the dagger very, very tightly. And as you...
He pats their head.
A hand comes up and swats your hand away, and you're just going to hear very ragged, "Don't you ever do that again! Do not reach around and grab people by surprise! Especially someone who's a thief! That is not something you do! Understand me, young man?"
He shrugs.
Oh gosh. This person is so... You have to roll inside. They're huffing and heaving, and their shoulders are incredibly tense, and one of their hands is clenched firmly around the dagger.
That's a 14.
What's the 14 for?
Insight.
Oh.
I thought you said to roll.
No, I said you didn't have to roll, but I'll take that
okay.
14 anyway. You look down, you can see they're trembling slightly, and their muscles are tense. They probably, you think they probably didn't react well to the restraining or the getting jumped on.
Laura sighs and says, I won't startle you again. But, he rubs the back of his head. You won't like this, but that is a little bit of payback for sneaking into Minami's home.
See them sheath the dagger sharply, with much thrust. Stand up, head towards the window, keeping their hood pointed towards you as they step out, put their hand up to brace themselves on the window's edge, look at you, and just... As long as you keep your parts of the bargain, or just don't. I understand you're enthusiastic, just don't do that again. And
not to you, at least. At least without warning, and he smiles.
Person just see the hood just shake from side to side as they come out of the window.
He walks towards the window and just yells, "Hugs are good for you!"
I'm very well aware, but don't do them by surprise!
They're fun!
You hear a call from above you.
He actually, oh gosh. Laura is gonna, like, park her up to the roof and wave bye to them.
Fucking god. Hang on. Okay, she's got an 18 for acrobatics to get up. She's made her way very well up to the rooftop, and you just hear the of footsteps making their way from you.
He just waves and says bye, and she sees this boy followed her to the roof.
You don't see the hooded figure go look back. They just kind of down the side.
Yeah.
He lands somewhere else.
Laura being kind of a little shit.
Oh, just kind of.
Kinda.
What the hell is it with blinds activating lore?
I don't know.
What the hell is up with your son?
I don't know.
No?
I shake him.
God, I'm going to antagonize the blinds and only the blinds.
Yeah.
Something about them just sets Lore on sight.
I think it's because they legitimately act like one of his parents.
Oh my god. You're not my parent. I can do this without much consequence. Hell yeah.
They also antagonize this parent.
Unless there's anything else you want to do specifically, I think we can end it here.
Yeah, Laura's just gonna swing back inside and close the window and lock it this time.
Boarding to assume locks are gonna keep her out, but
yeah,
yes!
He's like, more of, hopefully I can hear it.
Fair enough.
And he's gonna go and just sigh a little bit and smile, because now he's got to clean all the places she kicked.
Oh yeah! She kicked the counters, well, she kicked the cupboards under where she was sitting on the counters. She kicked the sofa,
and sat
um,
on the table. He's just got to clean it again
sat on
because
the
sanitized
table, and she
surfaces.
probably put one of her feet up on the wall as well. She was leaning back when
Hmm.
she first came in.
And Lloyd just looks like he's kind of happy to have something to do again because he's been bored. He's already read all the books.
Oh my gosh. Gosh.
But
Okay.
the last thing I want to do is Lord double checks his backpack, and depending on how you feel about this, you can tell me
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
But there's a certain letter that's gone, and he just smiles and closes it. And if depending on what Rabia does later, there might be a letter in her pocket.
Hmm. Well,
Mm-hmm.
suppose they're doing what they usually do, which is going around making sure everywhere is secure, uh, making sure that no one is being. Well, they're kind of trying to find new marks, I suppose. They're just looking around town. And it will probably take them till about they're searching their pockets for something or other, and they feel a letter in one of their pouches. They'll pull it out,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll see their name.
It has their name scrawled in very beautiful calligraphy, and they open it, and it just says, "Nice to meet you."
And pause down the alleyway that they've kind of
And
leaned against, and
it has the name. It just says Parif.
she's just gonna lean her back against the side of the alleyway as evening starts to come in. People are rushing to get home. There are people now going out to restaurants, after work shopping. Some school, like, some high school students are running around. Probably a couple of police cars running by on the next next case, because gosh, there have been a lot of increases in detective crimes and stuff recently.
Actually
She looks down
gonna
at this.
change the signature. It just says LQP, which are Lore's initials.
Oh, kind of look down at that. Gets to the wall, puts her leg up and sighs and says, "Ah, when did you slip this into my pocket, you sneaky little shit?" And they're just gonna laugh, tuck it back into their pocket, and walk down the alleyway.
Yep, the end.
That's how it ends.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Ah,
Mwahaha.
there's not nearly enough Minami Rising as I thought there'd be, but honestly, there was a blind involved, and
Lore couldn't.
Lord just
Lore couldn't.
couldn't stop. Just like this.
I don't know.
Why you like this with my blinds?
I don't know.
Why?
It's always the blinds.
Always them.
Sorry.
Anyway, oh, it's good.
I'm
I love
laughing.
this. This is amazing, and I love it. Anyway, we should stop recording. Thank you everyone for listening, both present and in the future. I hope you enjoyed this.
I did.
I'm glad you did. I also enjoyed it. Rabia is now incredibly frustrated with one man, and
You're welcome.
can kind of understand where her son is coming from now.
I think that's half the reason he did what he did.
I know. But yes, thank you everyone for listening, and this is where I stop recording.
Yeah, bye.
See you later.